action.
Hello and welcome to a new episode of Bugle Back Rats. So today we have the White Scars taking on the Ultramarines. Today we're playing Mission Battle Lines from Chapter 2 2020 pack. So today on the channel we got Paddy back.
How we doing, guys?
Yep. So Mr. Canacan.
Canacan actually brought White Scars with me today.
Yep.
Old school though. Gone old school.
Right, for the table today, Pad, do you want to talk through it?
Yep, so 4 objectives. 2 there, 2 here. We have obscuring on anything that's taller than 5 inches, and items such as these, if you stood on them, counts as dents, and what was the other one?
Light cover.
Light cover, that was it.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay, so you'll be right back in there with White Scars army list. First up we have White Scars.
Okay, so to start off, I'm using an outrider detachment. So my Warlord is Captain on Bike with a Teeth of Terror and Storm Shield. His Warlord trait is Sword of Imperium, so he gets +1 attack and +1 strength on the charge, or if I heroically intervene. And then I've paid 1 point to give him Jagorian Storm, so he gets an extra D3 attacks on the charge, so potential of 12 attacks on the charge. I've then gone for a Librarian. I spent a point to give him a Warlord trait as well. I've given him Rights of War, so all core units and character units within 6 inches of him get the OBSEC ability, because I have 0 OBSEC in this army.
What scouts?
Not scouts anymore.
Oh yeah, shit.
No, because they are elites. Poor little scouts.
Shame that.
Then the powers he's got the Ignore Overwatch and +2 to Advance and Charge. I can't quite remember what the names of the spells were. Moving into elites, I then got a Chief Apothecary. On a bike, I'm using legends only because I was struggling to make a list without using legends, and I didn't even get 1750. So I am using legends because GW are horrible and took all my characters away.
Lives as a legend, plays a legend.
Exactly. So his Warlord trait is Selfless Healer. So each time this Warlord uses Combat Restoratives ability, instead of healing D3 wounds, he heals 3 wounds. Then each time I use the Combat Revival stratagem, it costs 0 points. Then I've got a squad of scouts with combat blades, pistols. The sergeant's got a storm bolter and chainsword. Then moving into the fast attack, 2 squads of 3 attack bikes with multi-melters. Squad of 5 scouts with 2 Starty's grenade launchers in them. Squad of 9 bikes with Thunderhammer on the sergeant, melter guns, and chainswords with an attack bike with a multi-melter. Then a squad of 3 bikes with Thunderhammer on the sergeant with plasmas, and then another 3 squad of bikes with Thunderhammer and grav guns. Then flyers, I've got 2 storm talons with twin las cannons, and then dedicated transport, I've got the storm speeder. Then finally, because I'm not using a patrol or battalion or brigade, I have to pay 2 CP and have 100 points spare on my list in order to bring an assassin. So at the end of everything I'm spending, I have 4 CP to play with. Yay! But I'm kicking it old school. I don't need stratagems. Stratagems are for new rubbish people, Primaris, that I really want to play my Primaris White Scars. Okay, so that's me.
So right back with Ultramarines.
So, Ultramarines, what have you brought with you, mine?
So, second time playing Ultramarines in 9th. Usually Ben's our boy and brew, but it's up to me to represent Mr. Giddy and his Ultras today.
Do me proud. I will, sir.
So starting off we have Supreme Command Detachment with Giddyman himself as the Warlord. Then we get into the battalion. We have a standard Librarian with Bolt Gun and Force Sword, and his psychic powers are going to be Might of Heroes and Psychic Fortress, doing the 6-inch 5-up invulnerable bubble. Then we get into troops. I have 2 lots of 5 regular intercessors. Then we've got a squad of 10 assault intercessors. He'll be starting in with Pulsar in a minute. Then elites, we have 3 aggressors with Bolt Storm gauntlets. Still playing them, and hopefully the Power Fists can do some damage this game.
They are still good.
Lost double shots, but for 135 points, still pretty good unit, I think.
They've also lost the advance and shoot the weapons with no penalty as well.
So then we've got a Redemptive Dreadnought, Heavy Onslaught and Onslaught Gatling and Stormbolters. Then fast attack, we have 3 Outriders at standard.
Trying to keep up with my bikes.
And then we've got heavy supports, we have 5 Hellblasters with the rapid fire guns. Then we have a Vindy, which I forgot, we've got Kronos in the list, he'll be in the Vindy. And I've also paid 10 points for the shield on front. So he's got 2 up to save and he hits on 2s with Kronos. And finally we have a Repulsor, and it's got Twin Raz, the 2 Gatling guns, and then it's got 5 Fagstorm Drake launchers on. And that is it for the Ultramarines. So we'll be right back after the deployment.
Okay, so my deployment. I have paid a point to put the blob squad of bikes in reserve. The scout bikers are going to outflank. He's going to use his deep strike ability. The scouts are in the speeder. We then got the grav bikes here next to the speeder. Squad of 3 attack bikes with the librarian. 2 storm talons with the captain. Another blob squad of attack bikes, apothecary, and then the plasma bikes. The secondaries I've gone for engaging all fronts. With the speeder should be able to do that. Oaths of Moment, I haven't yet played that one, so I'm going to give it a go and bring it down only because the things that he's got, I think I can get 12 points off that secondary.
11. Yep. So then for Ultramarines, we have the Repulsor with the intercessors inside, Kronos, and then the Librarian tucked in between them. And then Gideon's Bubble, basically all the core units cushioned up on to the objective. Outriders on the flank. For secondaries, I've taken Assassinate. I think he's got 4 characters, we said?
1, 2, 3, 4 characters.
Yeah. Then to grind him down, just the fact if I don't kill him, he's saying kill me. So, and engage all fronts. I have got a little bit of mobility. So do I roll off for the first turn?
Ready to roll off.
2 approaches.
A 6.
6.
Scars will choose to take the first turn.
Okay. Any redeployment for me? Nah. I'm going to take it as is.
And take it.
Yeah, so you're back after White Scars, turn 1 movement.
My movement, my speeder has moved on to that objective. These bikes that are around here have moved up to here, so that's one part of the engaging all fronts. The attack bikes have gone to the centre of the board, part of my Oaths of Moment. Then obviously scattering of bikes here. That Storm Talon is there for engaging all fronts. Both of them really have gone here to start trying to take out that Repulsor, because I'd rather his assault intercessors are walking around the board as opposed to going around in the bus of death. So yeah, that's the end of my movement. So psychic phase, I will be using Ride the Storms. I'll stick it on my warlord, just so then when it comes to my next movement phase, he gets +2 to his advance. So what it does, it adds 2 to my advance and charge rolls until the end of my next psychic phase. But obviously the movement phase is before the psychic phase, and I'd rather him get some more advance. So that is Warp Charge 6, and it's a pass on an 8. Yep. And that's my psychic phase over, so into the shooting phase.
Yep, so come back in a minute. Got a shooting phase.
Okay, so the multi-motors did nothing, bolters did nothing, but then the plasma bikes decided to blow themselves up.
Self-destruct sequence activated.
Give me some bikes here.
There's only 2 missing bikes. Hopefully the apothecary will be able to bring some back later.
Knocked the wind off with a holster.
Oh yay! Killed 2 bikes. Okay, so we'll do the 2 storm talons. So we'll do the one that's closer to my deployment zone first.
Yep.
So we'll do the assault cannons. So 3, 6, 9, 12 shots with the assault cannons. So hit on 3s. Wounding on 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at -2.
Yep. 5 ups. Take 3 wounds.
The twin las. So 1 hit.
Yep.
And wounds. So
Yep.
-4.
No save.
And d6 damage for 4.
4. Yep.
And then we'll do the second one. So assault cannon. 5s. 1, 2, 3, -2.
3, yeah?
Yep.
5 ups. Takes another 2 wounds.
And then twin las. Both miss.
Oh.
So how many wounds has the repulsor got if I don't reroll?
So 5, 9, 10. So he's got 6 left.
Got 6 left, so that's middle bracket.
Oh. Choices.
Don't like spending CP on rerolls.
Do it.
But that repulsor's annoying, so yeah. So it's
Still misses.
See, that's why I don't like spending CP on rerolls.
So Pulse is still alive for the minute.
End of my turn 1, I got no charges, I don't have any morale to take, so I just scored 2 on engaging in front. But hopefully at the end of the battle round I'll score some points in open moment.
Yep.
So to Martin's turn 1.
For the Ultramarines. Marines turn 1 movement's done. So in the command phase, I spent 2 command points on Power Machine Spirit. So Pulsar acts as top bracket for shooting movement. And in command phase, I've also done orbital bombardment onto this objective. So next command phase, we'll see what happens there. Then movement, the assault troops is distant. Yep, and then the Vindy's moved up, touching the terrain. So he's now got true line of sight through to the bikes. Intercessors are back, just spread out, trying to deny his deep striking spaces. Redemptor Dreads are swung around the corner, eyeing up the bikes. Outriders and their dressers and Giddy all advanced up onto that objective. And Hellbrassers just watching Giddy's back. So we'll come back in psychic phase. So psychic phase, so I've got my librarian in between the 2 tanks. So I'm going to cast Psychic Fortress on the 6. Goes off on the 6.
Can you just check the range between my librarian and your librarian? Just so if I can deny.
You're in, what's the range? 24?
24.
You're in range?
I'm in range.
Yeah.
So Psychic Fortress I will try and deny.
Yeah.
You roll a 6, so I need
Yeah.
to roll 7.
Please don't.
You did it. No Psychic Fortress. That's the one I wanted to get rid of. Thank you very
And then
much.
we'll go Might of Heroes onto the Vindicator. Need a 6.
Oh.
I will command that.
So you commanded it, and
Yeah.
it goes off on a 6.
So Vindy's got toughness 9 now. So just try and deny those last cannons a bit. So we'll come back with shooting.
Go.
So Ultramarines shooting. The troops here knocked a few wounds off the bikes. Then the repulsor went in after. All the Gatling knocked them down to 2 bikes. Did do the twin las back at a pop carrier that was here. And he did live from the 2 las cannons. So Kronos and the Vindy had to finish him off luckily with 1 shot. And that's about it for shooting.
Obviously shot the Redemptor into the attack bikes as well.
Yeah, but then to wear all the Gatling and try and thin them down. So now he's got 2 units, so just 1 model left. That's about it for shooting. So, points wise, I've got 3 points on Assassinate for the Apothecary, and I've got 1 kill to pads to 0, so it scores me drawing down. Nothing on Engage on front, because I couldn't get my Outriders as far as I wanted. But I'm on 3 objectives, going into Void Scars, turn 2.
Okay, so White Scars. Start my turn, I score 1 for 1 objective. I scored 3 off the Oath of the Moment. That's for being within 6 of the centre of the board and nothing falling back. So movement. The bikes over here have moved up here a bit. Scouts have come in. That one there's flown over here. Stuck that one there into hover mode. The attack bike's moved up and the captain has also moved up. The bikes have moved up to touch the cover so they can see through it. And that is the end of my turn. Oh, and the apothecary has gone to there, so that's the end of my movement.
Librarian.
That storm seal. So, psychic phase. I'm going to do Storm Wreathed on my Warlord.
Yep.
So essentially that gives me no Overwatch on him, and on a roll of a 6, it causes a mortal wound on the charge.
Okay.
So we'll give it a go. So 4 charge 6. That's a fail. I'm not going to spend. I'm just going to have to kill that repulsor, I think. So that's the end of my psychic phase.
Okay, so back to shooting.
So my shooting phase, I hit Martin as hard as he hit me, I think. So over here, the scouts, the grabs, and the mighty melters, the combined effort, managed to whittle down his little blob of bikes and aggressors. Between the storm talons, I managed to kill the repulsor. And
Knocked off one troop
and
as well.
also him as well. He also managed to knock down the repulsor. So yeah, that's the end of my shooting. So into charge phase.
You know what you're in charge?
Yeah, I know exactly what I'll charge. So these bikes are going to charge the bike here.
Yep. Okay. 2 seconds. Okay.
So I'm going to declare a charge of these bikes onto this bike.
Yep.
My hero sergeant is going to charge over here. I don't know why he's got that one there.
That one I will overwatch.
Ooh, he's got Overwatch. Right. Then, so you're Overwatching there.
Yep.
Then I'll charge the captain into these guys along with the attack bike as
Okay.
well.
So back after charges. Charge phase. He's made it in here. That bike died on the Overwatch, and these ones made it in on the Outrider.
So I'm declaring declaring my attacks first with my captain.
Yep.
He gets 4 attacks base. He gets +1 off shock assault, +1 off of Sword of the Imperium. He then gets 3 off Teeth of Terror and D3 off Jagorian Storm. I rolled a 3 for Jagorian Storm. 12 attacks. 12 attacks.
Smart fuck.
Hitting on 2s. Rerolling nothing, so I don't benefit from my own anymore. Threes. So 6 at -2, 2 damage.
5 ups.
So 4 dead.
Yep.
4 attacks.
So attack bike now going in.
Shock assault. We're on the 1s. So it's 3 hits. 4s to wound. So 1 wound, -nothing.
Yep. 6.
We'll then go over here. So I'll move round.
Yep.
So got 2 bikes. Get +1 each for shock assault. 1, 2 miss. 5 to wound. 1 save, no minus.
Yep.
Cool.
Saved.
Safe. Then the sergeant gets 2 attacks. 1 shock assault with a thunderhammer. 1 hit. And 1 wound, -2.
5 up.
He tanks
Saves.
it. Okay.
That's how a real bike does it. None of this old model shit.
Dare you!
Right. Come back after my guys fought back.
So my charge didn't go as well as what I'd hoped. I did get quite a few misses and fails to wound. Over here, whiff.
Oh, attacks back.
Oh,
Outrider.
yeah, 2 attacks. So we just did the attacks with him, and he did nothing. So at the end of the charge phase, that is all she wrote. He failed his morale phase, or his morale check,
Yeah.
losing 1 dude, but he passed on combat attrition thanks to Thou Shalt Not Fear. See, it does work.
Sometimes. So we'll do points a minute. What do you score, Pat?
So I scored maximum engage in all fronts, so I'm up to 7. I killed a vehicle for Ocean Moment, and bring it down, I obviously killed the vehicle, which is the repulsor. So that is the end of my turn 2.
Yeah.
So turn 2 Ultramarines coming up next.
So Ultramarines turn 2. Obviously you're in tactical doctrine. Auto bombardment went off. Done 2 wounds there, I think 3.
3 wounds.
Then over here, there's assault incesses fell back. And you use your strap.
I use Butcher Quarry for 1 CP. I get to make attacks and then I get to move.
So now he's tagging me back in combat.
Because it's not classed as a movement, I still count as being in engagement range.
Librarian shifted round and messed up movements, so I'm not closer to the captain where I want to be, but we'll go with it. Then over here, Vindy between us is swing out, line up the scout bikers. Troops just stayed where they are. The Outrider fell back, moving up to the table. Dreadnought and Giddy and the Hellbasters just shuffled across. And that's it for movement. So we'll come back with Psychic Phase.
Okay, so Psychic Phase.
Yep.
Martin, what happened?
So you done Might of Heroes onto the Librarian.
Yep.
Also, when I did this, I noticed it's only core and characters now. First time I did it on the Vindy, luckily it hasn't made no difference this game. So before you comment, you noticed.
Naughty Martin.
Sorry.
So then into
But then you did do a Super Smite on the plane.
Oh yeah, and Smite, and got 5 wounds off on the plane.
Sad face.
So Librarian's going to beast mode this time.
So shooting phase. What happened?
Shooting. We had the Hellblasters into the guys' bikes in the cover in there. I overcharged and
left.
3 of my guys killed themselves.
Self-destruct sequence activated.
70 paddy's bikes have been getting in the game.
Yeah.
Do Dent of Dread, tried being cheeky and finish off the land speeder and bikes. And he did do either. Left out 1 wound and 1 bike in there.
Because Landspeeder Storms have 7 wounds, which I really didn't know.
Outriders just moved up, hoping cause trouble next turn. Gilly shot into the plane, double tap in.
He's down to 4 wounds now.
The Intercessors all shot in as well, done some wounds. And the Vindy shot over at the scouts and bikes, killed 4.
One lone scout. Let's hope he can pass the morale.
So we're now going to charge phase.
So what are we going to charge?
So the first one's going to be the Librarian into the bike, who's already in combat.
He's already in combat.
And then the Dread will charge the bikes.
Yep.
Are you going to Overwatch?
No, I don't think there's any point.
And then I'll charge Gideon after.
Yeah.
And that's be it for charges this time.
Cool, so they're all obviously going to get... Well, do the Librarian, because he might whiff. No, he doesn't. Okay, so we'll come back shortly.
Okay, so end of Ultramarines' turn. Captain's still alive, unfortunately. Got 1 intercessor left there.
I am on 0 CP now, though.
Yeah, campaign interrupted. Killed those intercessors. Gideon came in and just went bang with swords on the bikes.
Night bikies.
And that was end of 5 phase. So end of turn, I've killed 4 units to phase 2, so I scored 1 down. And I've got 3 table quarters to engage all fronts. So we're back with White Scars, turn 3.
Okay, so movement phase. Scouts disembarked. They moved on this side, so I'm claiming this table quarter. I then advance this over, sat on this objective. So mainly covering this table quarter, but trying to cover that objective. He's moved off the terrain. My flyer has stayed in hover mode. Then he's also stayed in hover mode. Fell back with my captain. Librarian came round. Hero Scout Biker. Bikes came in. Eversaw came in. That is the end of my movement.
Yep.
So, Psychic Phase. I am going to... How many CP you got?
4.
4. So, I am going to attempt to smite on your Librarian.
Yep.
So, it goes off on a 5.
So I'll try and deny it.
Yep. So, it's denied.
Yep.
So now he can't deny Storm Weather. Yes, the one you don't get to overwatch against me on my captain. And that is a fail, but do I reroll it?
Oh, one command point.
I'm not really going to use it on anything else, I don't think, to be quite honest. So yeah, solid it. I will reroll my psychic test, and still a fail.
Fail. Oh.
That's fine. Stuff happens. Stuff happens. Great. Okay, so that is the end of my psychic phase. So we'll come back after shooting. Okay, so end of my shooting. Put transhuman here, so the holy multi-melter didn't kill it. The two planes didn't really do a lot. The bikes here though managed to put 2 wounds off Gilliman and what was it, 6 wounds off him?
5 wounds.
5 wounds.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is the end of my shooting. Moving into charge phase.
Yep.
Charging scout into these guys here, which I made the charge off camera.
Yep.
Then, so I'll move him in now. I will declare a charge with the Eversaw Assassin onto both of these two. So he makes a 3d6 charge.
I don't. I'm going to Overwatch.
You're going to Overwatch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Vinny done it.
So failed Overwatch. I say fail. You wounded him.
I took him halfway with some command points.
So the Eversaw gets a 3d6 charge. That's not enough. No. That's not what I wanted at all.
Oh dear.
Why are you staying there then? Well, at least I got rid of your Overwatch for what I want to do with the captain. So the captain's going to charge.
Yeah. Doesn't even much.
So yeah, I'll tag both.
Okay.
Just minus his shooting. The librarian is going to charge both units.
Yep.
So he's in.
And then the big one, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so let's do this. Charge onto Gilliman.
Just Gilly?
Just Gilly. That's not what I wanted.
Oh dear. Bike's in trouble.
The attack bike. See, if I don't stop that attack bike from doing anything, then that's that objective gone. And objectives are worth more than secondary. So charge!
Dun, dun, dun.
That
Why, God, why?
sucks. Right. Great!
It's nice facing Ultramarines. We're an army.
It's not. No.
So we'll come back after fight phase.
Okay, so my charge phase didn't go to plan. My librarian, he got fucked up in the face. My captain did nothing to him. I split my attacks, did nothing to him, and only killed 4 of them. Scout sergeant didn't really expect anything. Obviously I failed my charge here,
yep,
and failed my charge here. So yeah, that wasn't a great charge. Oh, and I failed the charge with my Eversaw Assassin as well. So that wasn't a very good charge phase at all. Wasn't a very good combat phase.
Splitting targets is not a good idea.
Well, I keep falling into the same silly mistakes of splitting targets and using command rerolls. Don't use command rerolls because they suck.
Librarian did activate his relic anti-mantle
so
mantle for the 3-up involve. So that's gone now.
that's now gone.
So points that turn. He scored engage all fronts.
Engage on all fronts. Nothing for open moment. Nothing to bring it down.
That's it.
Martin scored 3 for assassinate.
Yeah, got a cheeky assassin out there with Librarian. So come back with Ultra's turn 3. So Ultramarines turn 3, score 15 on primary, holding 3 objectives and 1 pad. So then going into movement, Librarians just shifted across into this table quarter, trying to fire. Outriders come up onto the scouts, you can take them off. Redemptor stayed where he is. Hellbrasters and Gillies moved up, line up the bikes. Intercessors fell back, and the Vindicator fell back. I got 1 Intercessor hiding away in the corner. A scared little sergeant. So then we did Psychic Phase. Librarian did Smite on the Plane for 1 wound, and failed Mighty Hose on himself. So that's it. So we come back with shooting. So shooting phase. The Outrider killed off a few scouts there, making it easier for him in a minute. Redemptor shot everything in at bikes, killed
2 bikes, 1 on 1 move.
Gee tried picking off the assassin but failed. The Hellbusters finished off the Landspeeder. The Intercessors all just done some pick shots at Talon, knocked it 3 wounds off.
Down to 2 wounds.
And then the Vindy, got Vindy and Pronos, fell back, and there's no Captain and on Viking anymore.
No, unfortunately not.
So we're going to charge phase.
Let's see if mine whiffs this charge with Gilliman.
So Gee's in charge.
He does
He
not.
makes it. Or you going to Overwatch?
I have no CP.
Good. So here we're in. And Outrider will charge scouts.
He's in.
And that's it for charges.
Cool.
Okay, so come back in a minute.
Go.
So Ultramarines end of turn. Outrider Frost rolled a 1, 2 on 2 wound. And scouts nearly killed him back. So he's going to get sacked in the morning. And Gee went down to 4 wounds. And that's about it. Some points. Scored another assassinate. I scored grind them down and engage your front for 4 quarters. So pretty good turn for the Ultras. That's the end of tactical doctrine for us now. So you're back with White Scars, turn 4. Okay.
Okay, so end of my movement phase. So start of the battle round. I score Osa moment for holding the centre of the board. I only hold 1 objective. So the scouts fell back here, getting ready for another charge.
Yep.
Flew over, he's now airborne again. He's staying in hogger mode. Both of them getting sort of line up for killing Gilly. If not, hopefully the assassin can do it. Then we have the bikes over here, get ready to take out these 2 and then hold that objective. The attack bike moved up touching the cover so he can shoot at the dreadnought. And the bike is getting ready for a charge. And that is the end of my movement. So now we are into the shooting phase because I don't have any psychic phase.
Yep.
So end of the shooting phase. Managed to pot her some wounds. So here I've done nothing. The attack bike managed to take down some wounds as well as help from a couple of the storm talons. Also Gilliman has taken 2 wounds. So now we are into charge phase. So the scouts are going to charge. The attack bike is going to charge. And does he? No.
You fall back in charge, yeah? White
Where's
Scars.
the moment?
You fall back in charge, yeah?
I can, yeah. I'll come back to that in a minute. So I'll charge here.
Yep.
Charge here.
Yep.
And then do I multi-charge? So if I fail, that would suck. What do I need for a multi-charge? So I need a 6.
Yep.
I know full well I'll fail, but I think it's do or die situations now, though, isn't it?
Pretty much.
So let's do it.
Okay.
So multi-charge.
Yep.
I need a 6. That's not a 6. That's not a 6. Here, he's in. That's a bit of a bugger, isn't it? The assassin charging Gilliman.
Yeah.
He's definitely in.
And I will Overwatch on that one.
Overwatch that one.
Yep. That's
You've
my
still
one.
got a point, haven't you?
Yeah, spend my 1. Do I get back on a 5? I do. Nice. So Gilly. 6 shots.
Mm-hmm.
6 is
1 hit.
re-rolling for himself. Just 1.
Not enough to kill him. That's the main thing.
Freeze.
And then
1.
4 up in volt. No. Takes 2 down to 1.
Tried.
Only hope now is that you kill him and he explodes.
So back with
So, yeah.
combat in it.
So it's a brilliant turn this turn. I killed the Outrider. Whiffed over here. And
What's happening in the core valve?
I whiffed over here as well.
He's still
The
alive.
assassin, he died and he exploded. Getting more wound.
Funny thing was, we rolled it, he fell out the tray, done 1 wound, rolled it again in the tray, Still down one wound.
Still down one wound. So yeah. Still think I got this in the bag, but time will tell.
So Ultras top 4 next.
Okay, so we didn't play out the last turn, so we talked it through. He would have moved his Redemptor Dread up to here, getting range and line of sight of the scouts, killing off the scouts. We rolled for that, and that died. Here, Gilliman would have charged the plane and killed it. It wouldn't have exploded. My bikes, they charged Gilliman and they killed him. So he went down. What he would have done here, he would have killed the scout in combat, then using the Vindicator to come around to here to be able to target the bikes, or come around to here and target the bikes, killing off the bikes. The Dreadnought went down by the multi-motor here. So at the end of that, I scored 10 on engageable fronts, 13 on legs to the moment, 8 on bring it down. I wouldn't have scored turn 5 objective. Martin then scored 12 points on assassinate, 15 on grind them down, 9 on engage on all fronts, and then he maxed out on his primary. So final score is 46 to me, 81 to Martin. So turns out that the Primaris Marines are in fact better than the Firstborn Marines. Who'd have thought it? Who'd have thought it? So,
And who knows? I can actually play Ultramarines.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
That hurt.
But no, that was a good game. I knew that I was at a disadvantage anyway because of what I had of the white scars that I thought, oh, I'll bring it along. It'll be firstborn versus newborn.
Yeah, obviously we both didn't know what we was playing like lesser ice. We just knew white scars, ultras.
Yeah, that's all we
So,
knew really.
I built a quite tough, average, average, but like good mix, I reckon.
Yeah, mainly a mix of combat over shooting over combat.
Yeah.
But the combat stuff that he did have in there was quite savage. I mean, like, I didn't want to get in combat with his Dreadnought, with the Power Fist now being 3 plus D3 damage. I didn't want to get in combat with the Aggressors either, because now their fists are flat 2 damage. The Outriders, I'm glad I managed to cull the majority of the Outriders at the start of the game. Fade and Chart, I don't, dice rolls, but no, I don't count that. It was generally the fact that I was like trying to get a 9-inch charge coming off of Outflank, which isn't a guaranteed. I forgot about the 3-up invo on the Librarian, but yeah, I mean, like, it went how I expected it to go. To be quite honest,
I was expecting turn 3 the big punch something, but obviously
it was just
bad rolling.
It was just stuff not making charges. Yeah, it didn't really, like, I kept falling into the same trap over and over, re-rolling, using command re-rolls, because, yeah, they work for everyone else. Normally I don't use command re-rolls, like in a tournament, it's very, very rare that I'll use a command re-roll. I prefer to use them on other things. The command re-roll tends to be a trap, I found, where you just end up spending so many CPs during the game on re-rolling dice, and you can use them elsewhere. But yeah, the game went how I expected it to go, to be quite honest. I expected a loss. I thought, well,
I never
show off how bikes.
I never expect to win against Paddy. But
no, you can't say that.
I think I've done, like, I think Ukraine's down there for this.
Surprisingly, they worked quite hard, I think, throughout that game.
I feel I did the right thing to ignore them best as I could.
Yeah.
If I had spare shots, I stuck them in, but
yeah,
I focused on the mission, I think, quite well.
Yeah, that was the main thing. You focus on the mission, plus as well, you did quite well at focusing down squads.
Yeah.
Well, you needed to anyway for your grind them down.
Yeah.
So you did quite well there.
Don't split fire, kids.
Yeah, don't split fire, because you get greedy and it doesn't work. So, but yeah, all in all, it was a good game.
Yeah.
Bikes, I think having a squad of 9 bikes backed up by like buffs where you get reroll charges or pluses, charges, and advances. Bikes, they're an expensive unit, but now that they've gone up to 3 runes a piece, I do rate them. It's just I don't like the old bike models. Compared now to the Outriders,
That single Outrider.
silly. Well, yeah, Outriders are really good anyway. With my next gen White Scars, I will be fielding at least 2 squads of Outriders in all my armies.
Yeah, you're building your Primaris currently.
Currently, yes. What I intend on doing is things like, for instance, my slash captain, as I call him. I will be making a Primaris version of him, so it would still count as a firstborn, but for aesthetics, he'll be
on juice,
slashy goodness. Yeah, so we'll do on an Outrider bike with a big ass chainsword, and I've got some really cool storm shields as well.
Wolfing ones?
No, they are Oriental buttons, which they got dragons and stuff on them, and like Oriental writing around the side. And I can't remember the name of him on Instagram, but I stole his idea. So if you're watching this, I stole your idea. But yeah, they do look really, really cool, and yeah, I can't wait to get them up and on the table.
I'm sure they're going to be a lot more nastier. I know Firstborn's got extra runes, but Primaris got all the strats, I reckon.
Well, I mean,
I thought the Ultras.
Yeah, I mean, this is how I used to use my old White Scars, because beforehand, if you had a captain, then a captain on a bike, then bike squads were also troop choices, which then they get the OBSEC rule and everything else. So like, that's how I used to play them before, and they worked really, really well. Those of you like who went through the whole of 7th edition but no White Scars were really, really good. And yeah, I mean, I've picked White Scars up and put them down and played other armies and then picked them up again and put them down. Hence why a very small number of my White Scars is painted. It just ever seems to be whenever a tournament comes about, I get them all painted up. But yeah, I do enjoy using my White Scars. It's just trying to figure out what to do now. I mean, attack bikes. Attack bikes are really, really, really good. You didn't see the full effect of them in this game, but considering that they're 55 points a model, so you have a squad of 3 of them. They've got essentially the same output as ATVs, but they're cheaper. And they have the core keyword as well, so they get all the rerolls. So yeah, Outriders over ATVs. The only reason why ATVs are really good at the minute is because of apothecaries, being able to bring them back. The thing I think that's hurt the Firstborn Marines when it comes to White Scar bike armies is the fact that they've lost all of their characters. You've got like Corsaro used to be able to have on a bike, Librarian used to be able to have on a bike, Chaplain used to be able to have on a bike. All of the company command used to be able to have them on a bike, and then they all went to Legends but the captain, which I was super sad at. It's one of the reasons why I haven't touched my White Scars Firstborn Marines throughout the whole of 8th edition, was because they all went to Legends and it was a sad, sad time. So, but no.
So I actually enjoyed playing Ultramarines for a change.
Ultramarines, they kept...
For me, it's a rare army to actually play.
They are fun to play. It's always fun running a Primarch up the board and watching everybody crap their pants and scatter. Normally it's Martin crapping his pants and scattering against my gunner. But yeah, for me, I played them to death in 8th edition.
Mostly against teaching me when I was first started.
Yeah.
And beating me week in, week out. Yeah, my poor fucking space dogs.
You've got to learn somehow.
Yeah.
You don't learn anything.
That Mr. Giddy put me down many, many weeks.
Yes. But yeah, I enjoyed this game. It was fun breaking the old White Scars out again.
Yeah, it's good to have him on.
Yeah.
Something different.
Hopefully, we should have some more White Scars games in the future. I mean,
you got lockdown now, today.
We've got lockdown coming up very, very, very soon.
For those of you watching, this has been filmed before the lockdown on Thursday, along with many, many other videos.
Yeah, and this is Monday, and so yeah, it's not long now and then there'll be no more games for at least a month. So plenty of time for me to paint. So hopefully I'll get the last 2 in the squad done over the next couple of days, and then I can move on to probably do my Outriders next.
Do I give you your Instagram shout out?
Yeah, go for it. So Corsaro Khan 40k, not Corsaro Khan 40k, Kerno Khan 40k. Check me out on Instagram. It's just a hobby track, essentially, just keeping up on what I'm doing.
See what's coming up next.
Yeah, it's more as well to give me a bit more incentive to paint, because now I'm like trying to keep people happy. I've got like 100 followers now. I've got to keep those people happy. You know, I can't just go, oh, you know, I'll paint something in 6 months' time. So yeah, I'm slowly getting there. I know what I want to do now. I reckon I've mastered my, well, I say mastered. It's now got easier to paint my white scars and the thing that I'm doing. I'm not a big fan of batch painting. I prefer to paint model by model. Hence why it takes a lot longer. So, but yeah, I've got lots of plans, lots of converting. I want to try and make every single model look unique, essentially. So, but yeah, we will. We shall see. Only the future will tell. So, but yeah, thank you for having me on the channel again. It was a pleasure.
Like always.
Yeah,
Right.
awesome.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure you subscribe, comment, and ring the bell.
Cheers. And gone.
Cheers and gone.